Alright guys, so I was able to figure out the secret to this little tab here. I had a little piece of tape that was still in there that was preventing me from getting in there, and I didn't want to damage the box. So I'm trying to be as careful as I can here. Alright, there's the box, and we have another booklet. It's called The Art of the Dark Souls Trilogy. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. We have, of course, the video game itself, Dark Souls 3, Day 1 Edition for the PS4. That's the front and the back. You guys have a good look at the art on the back and on the front. There is a little bit of a texture on the main character that appears to be about to kindle a bonfire. Next is a metal jacket booklet. This is probably the soundtrack, I think. Let's take a look at it. Again, very nice textured aluminum, and I guess it's just the jacket for the game. No soundtrack. Maybe the soundtrack is a digital download. All right, here is appears to be a map. Let's see if we can take a quick look at it. So this is a cloth. I guess it's like a little wall hanging. And it looks like it's depicting Lothric, the beginning area of the game. It's a very, very nice kind of tapestry there. Pretty cool. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but let's put it away. And let's see what else is in here. Oh, it appears to be a figurine, or an action figure. All right. So there's a action figure of the main character in Dark Souls 3. It appears to be pewter. It's fairly heavy. I'd say it weighs about £1.5 pounds. It looks like there's a couple of, if you could see them on the side here, there's a couple of swords that you can, I guess, put on the handholds. So they're twin blades. So it's a very nice figurine. And let me show you guys. Oh, this thing appears like it's gonna fall, so I'm gonna throw it back in the box. Make sure it doesn't fall off. And I'll show you guys a little bit about the box art on the collector's edition packaging. Again, there's a little bit of a texture on it. And this is what you get. It's telling you on the back. You get the Art of Dark Souls, you get the metal jacket, you get a starter guide, you get the video game and the soundtrack. So let's take a look at this book, The Art of Dark Souls Trilogy. Let's see what that's all about. Oh, and this appears to be a little art book, or a concept art book. Yeah, it's The Art of Dark Souls, The Art of Dark Souls 2, and The Art of Dark Souls 3. So this is really neat. This is something that I was not expecting to get, but it's concept art for all three of the Souls games. And I think it's very appropriate that it's included here because Dark Souls 3, at least what I've seen of it so far, appears to take items and concepts from Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 and kind of put them together, and Bloodborne a little bit, and Demon Souls, and put them together. So I think this is gonna show you a little bit more about how the concepts evolve and where the ideas went from Dark Souls 1 all the way to Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3. Let's see if there's anything. There's nothing in there. And here's the video game. Let's take a quick look at the video game. Alright, there's Dark Souls 3. Here they're trying to sell you the collector's edition, which I already purchased. Here's a starter guide and some free digital exclusives. Let me see what that's all about. Alright, so this is basically your booklet that tells you information about the game, the controls, and it does have an e-guide download code on the last page. And it's got some nice art on the back. And here's the game itself. There's the soundtrack on one side, and there's Dark Souls 3 on the other side. Alright guys, well that is going to wrap it up for my unboxing. That was quite a haul of goodies. Now this is not an inexpensive collector's edition pack. The collector's edition plus the guide I think retailed at about $180. You could get it at a 20% discount in some places, most notably Amazon, but they sold out pretty quickly. But boy, you know, if you are a fan of Dark Souls lore and the Dark Souls series as I am, I think it's worth it. You know, I saved up a little bit. It was a good amount of money to put down, but I'm very happy that I did. So just again, a recap of all of the goodies that you get. You get obviously the game with the soundtrack. You get a nice cloth graphic of the world. You get a nice metal jacket where you can save your game if you like. There's a download code for some exclusives and also for the guide. There is an art book that has art from all three Dark Souls games, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. So that's pretty cool. There is a journal that you can use, I guess, to write down your experiences as you travel or navigate through the game, play through the game. And there is the Dark Souls 3 Collector's Edition Guide, which again I will be doing a more in-depth video on this, so we'll cover that a little bit later, and I might cover the art book as well, since it does have information on all three games. And last but not least, there's a really cryptic keychain. with this graphic, which if you guys tell me in the comments what the heck this is, let's try to figure this out. Alright, so this has been... Oh, and finally, let's not forget the action figure. Let's bring that out one more time. Action figure. It's a very nice action figure. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap it up. So that was my unboxing of Dark Souls 3, the Collector's Edition for PS4, and Dark Souls 3, the Collector's Edition Guide. And wanted to do a quick video before I go and install the game and go play it, and tell you guys my impression of the game in a future video. This is the Tech Phantom signing off.